Okay, so I was born in Nicaragua, Granada, and then my mom took me to El Salvador, and I was raised in El Salvador with the rest of my siblings. So I have three sisters and two brothers.
And where are you?
Right, I'm the second youngest.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I don't have any family here in Washington. I do have a sister in Washington D.C. and her children and an aunt in Illinois, but I don't have a relationship with them. And so I came here to America, straight to Seattle in 1999, October 31st, and I was 16 years old. Yeah, and I've been here since then.
Okay.
So I've been here almost 17 years.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you consider this home?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. In El Salvador, how long were you there? Till 16?
Till I was 16 years.
Oh, gotcha. And growing up there, tell me about like what was it like?
Well, it was, I mean, it's a third world country, so we had a lot of different obstacles throughout the years. But I got to tell you that we went through a hurricane and the war and an earthquake. So those memories are never gonna leave my mind, and it taught me so much about just being human, humankind, and just being kind to another. It's just what it is about life, and good people. I mean, there's good people everywhere. It doesn't matter which nationality you are, but in our country, it's just like for other people. Let's say, okay, United States. I mean, we do have like Jehovah's Witness that go to El Salvador and do good things, right? To help families and also come to learn about Jehovah, and that's a good thing that we have in our country because they can see other spectrums about the living, and conditions about El Salvador. It's not only gang members and we're poor and so we're dying of hunger. It's nothing like that. It's just surviving. And so we went through the war, and unfortunately my older brother passed away. He was killed in his own home when he was sleeping due to the war. But I remember very vividly that so the war has ended, kind of, sort of, and then I remember my little sister and I and my mom were just basically in the bedroom area, but the walls were just like collapsed, and we only had like plastic just surrounding the rest of the house, and my brother was with the gun on the sidewalk and was protecting us, so we had to like leave outside of the house on a plastic bit, kind of like a tent, but it wasn't a tent, it was just plastic around, and he was the one protecting us. So that happened, then the earthquake happened, and it was another disaster in our country.
Well, you said the airplane?
No, earthquake.
Oh, earthquake. Sorry.
Yes, and so that I remember. I didn't get the chance to go to the city, but my mom was telling my aunt that it was just, you see corpses everywhere, and that was definitely very hard for El Salvador. And not only that, but people, it's just so hard to overcome that financially and emotionally. And then we had the hurricane. Yes, so it was like one thing after another, like throughout those years, and we overpassed that, overcame that, and the most important thing I think that I get from that is just family. The more you stay together, it's just the rest is just it's just living part of life. And
well, when you came to the United States, you came straight to Seattle? As a refugee?
No, not as a refugee. As an immigrant.
As an immigrant?
Looking for a positive new future. Is supposed to like staying back at home, and then I'll finish high school, and then go to college, go to university, get a career, and then get married. Just a typical. I just wanted more. Like I always dream a lot bigger than most, and so I remember praying to God, just going to the top of the hill, and then just kneeling and praying to God, please, I want to go to the United States. I want to go to the United States so bad. And it came true. So I came straight to Seattle, Washington, and I came. I was going to live with my mother's neighbor. It was her neighbors, one of her friends.
And so all the children came?
No, it was just me.
Just you?
Just me, yeah. And illegal. So I crossed the border illegally.
But like by yourself at 16?
By myself.
Wow.
So I was, yeah. And
that's a very, very courageous.
It was a very embarrassing move on my part. And I didn't think that my mother would have ever accepted it. But she did. She knew exactly what I really wanted, and it was just my dream. Like all I talked about was just that. And yeah, it was like, I want to go to America. But I didn't think much about jobs. It's just helping my mommy. She has asthma and bronchitis, so she often gets very nervous about certain things. She struggled in her entire life, and she raised 5 beautiful children, and 6, to be precise, and she sustained the whole family just by having a convenience store. So we had a little convenience store, and we had to go to the back. So in the backyard we had a gulch, and in the gulch there were like trees. So they would break on the storms and stuff. And so we'd just go every morning and look for like branches and stuff to start the fire, and cook the maize, to make the masa. And because she did make tortillas to sell for the neighbors, and we had the convenience stores. And by convenient, I'm not saying about 7-Eleven, that's convenience store. It was just a little. We had like glue for chews, a little candies and cookies and stuff like that, rice and beans, what people really actually needed. And so she's a really tough woman, and she never gave up, and I got that from her. She just it's not that she didn't care about how hard life was, or is still. It's just that you just gotta keep going, you gotta cry a little, cry a lot.
Resilience.
Yes, and it's just obedience to God too, 10 commandments, and just be humble, and just do that. A lot of bad things happen throughout life, and we're gonna go through a lot of hardships and stuff. And then I really don't know what exactly my mom went through, but I can tell by looking at her and how she has so much passion about her family, her kids, and she never gave up. She built her own home from scratch, like foundation and everything. She was just, making cement and making her own bricks, and just built her own house.
Strong woman.
2 houses.
Very strong woman.
Yes,
Nice.
So a piece of land that was in the middle of the city, and she claimed it. It was supposed to be part of the gulch, and she claimed it, and she never got in trouble. Thank God, right? It was a blessing. But she built the walls, and but back then we didn't have bricks. We made mud. So we will carry the dirt, and then make mud, and then you just put like bamboo bars, and then just put the mud in there, and just fill it in, and that was our walls. Not until later that we were able to afford the bricks, and then my brother, helping, and so she built a house, and then she built another one that she's so proud of, and now my little sister lives there with her son, and I'm pretty sure someone else that they haven't told me, but yes, and she built it from scratch. And my brother Salomon, he's an accountant, and he helped her, but it was mostly her.
Yeah.
It was a community project that became something so wild and beautiful. It was women and men, married couples, but she was so single.
And your dad?
I've never met my father. I never did, and I was little when my mom took me to El Salvador to meet my sisters and brother.
Okay.
And so I don't recall any.
So he was in Nicaragua still, probably.
Yes. All I know is that she had a picture of my father on a shoebox underneath the bed that I came across, and I was finally able to get and open it up, and that's how I found out who my father was.
Yeah,
but
see him.
Yeah, but I got in trouble for that.
Oh. Wow.
Yes. Yes, secrets.
I'm glad you did it.
Yes.
You get to see him. Well, tell me, when you arrived to Seattle, what did you think?
Well,
1999.
yeah, I was in shock.
Yeah.
You know, everything is just green and different colors on the trees. I mean, we don't get that in El Salvador. It's just green or brown, and so, and I just thought I was in awe. And it was nighttime, and it was raining because it was October, but I was like, I made it. But it just didn't down on me until later. You know, that I started seeing where I was, and the first store that I went to get clothes was Goodwill. You know, so I went there, and I'm like, oh my God! And I thought the Goodwill was the most expensive store there was, you know, and I didn't know there was like, you know, secondhand store, because I come from a poor family, poor background, and so that was a luxury for me coming to America, to be able to go and pick clothes. You know, I didn't get that growing up. My mom tried, and she gave us the best she could, you know. And she's a very strict woman. She's very strict, and you don't get away with anything at all. And she's very strict. But I'm so glad that I'm just so proud of my mom.
Yes, I can hear it.
Yes, and she's very she has an attitude, and she, when you done something wrong, you're not saying anything, she knows already. So she just silence, and she lets you come. She gives you a little bit of time to come clean. If not, just we beat you with that stick. But yeah, growing up as a child, I mean, of course I didn't like getting beaten with a stick or a belt. But now I understand why she did that, and she was raised that way, and I hated that, you know. And I thought that, why would you hit me, Mom? You know, just like a little puppy will say, why are you hitting me? They don't understand what they done wrong, right? But I forgave her for this. You know, nothing that people will understand ever. But because you don't do that in America, right? And so a lot of people will think that that's savage. You know, wow. You know, but it's something that is so sacred, I guess, you know, for the family to have restriction, have rules, and you just follow them. And I was not a troubled child, but it's something that it will benefit you, and you will understand when you in the future why she did it. Yeah.
What did you do when you got here?
So when I got here, I started. Unfortunately, something happened. So I came to America also to get married. You know, get a career, finish in my education, and then get married. Find somebody that I love dearly. You know, and I always been attracted to Americans. So that was another. So I came here to marry a virgin, and unfortunately that didn't happen. I got raped by so I had to go through that and live with some other people, a family that helped me.
When you were young?
Yes, when I was 16 years old. And so then they took me into the family, and I lived with them for a little while. Then right away I started working. It's called Salvadorian Bakery in White Center.
Okay.
And so they gave me a job. I started as a waitress and a barista when you make espressos. It's not a barista, it's just espresso. We have espresso, it's a bakery, so it goes with it. But it's also a restaurant. So I was working there, and then I started high school. The reason why I had already finished high school back at home in El Salvador, but you need to redo it here for the credits and to yeah. So I did that. I went to Hazen High School, and I was working and going to school. And it was tough because I had to get up so early in the morning. And
you're by yourself.
Yes.
Like no one's saying get up. Like you just working and high school.
Yes.
Busy.
And it did help the fact that I went to live with the family. You know.
Yeah. And what family like that took you in?
Yes. So they're from El Salvador.
Okay, as well.
Lucky enough, yeah. Well, the lady that kind of helped me from the beginning is Mexican, and she was pregnant, and I felt bad for putting her, on that spot and for her to help me. But then she introduced me to the other family, and so they took me and I lived with them for a little bit. And then the owners of the Salvadorian bakery where I work, they welcomed me with their open arms and say, "Why don't you live with us? We have an extra room." And so I did, and it did help that I had support.
Yeah.
That support system.
Now, did you? I want to be careful. Now, did you talk to people about what happened, the sexual assault?
I had to.
You had to.
I had to because I had to go. It's called consejo.
Okay.
And I had to because I was a teenager still, and then so the men had to be brought to justice.
Good.
So we did. One of the people, the therapist, took me to the hospital and get checked, and then get the paperwork, and also go to counseling, and then we went to the superior court, and then the man, showed up the first time, but then the second he didn't, so he ended up fleeing the country.
Oh wow.
But I did have to talk about that, and I stay focused at work and at school. That also helped.
Yeah.
Having friends.
Good. Yeah. Some support, like you said.
Exactly.
Some support.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, how long did you work at this place? You finished high school?
Yes.
And then what happens?
And then I stayed working at the Salvadorian bakery, and then so I decided to move out of the house. They actually bought another house in Renton because we used to live at Martin Luther King Jr. And then we moved to Renton. From Renton, I moved out and I decided to pay for my own room. So I started working at this place called Delridge Vacuum Repair Shop, and it was a guy. The owner is a guy from Romania, and I introduced myself to him, and it was another huge step to rent a room and be on my own. So I started working for him also at the shop, and making sure about the accounting area out there of that job, and then I still work at Salvadorian bakery. Then I got out of Salvadorian bakery and I started working at the Mexican restaurant in West Seattle, and so I was doing those two, and then I became friends with another woman. Her name is Roxana, and then we decided to move into an apartment. And so I was working at the Mexican restaurant, not working at the vacuum and repair shop anymore.
Okay.
Just at the Mexican restaurant, I was making good tips. So
Good.
And then I was going to Seattle Community College as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Incredible.
Yes, I got a business degree back at home when I was also finishing my seamstress certificate, and so I did those two. But I also did that at Seattle Community College while I was getting a what do you call it? Second language, ESL. ESL still. But I self-taught myself English. Because I didn't go for it that long to ESL. It was just too boring. I already knew everything they were teaching, so I'm like, this is not gonna. Yeah. So I did that, and after that, I met, someone, and Donald Garcia, and we married. We got married.
Okay.
Yeah, he became my best friend, and he was born in San Diego, but his parents are Salvadorian, so another Salvadorian people, and we were together for a long time. Yeah, and then we separated, and it was a good relationship.
Yeah. But you said it's finished?
Oh yeah, it was finished a long time ago.
Oh, gotcha.
Years ago.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who get married and it doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I always look at marriage as a long-term relationship that is called marriage, and many people are in them. And sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about your current situation. Where are you at now, Ericka? Like, what's happening?
Well, right now, I I'm homeless, and that's because I had a bad 5-year engagement relationship with someone, and he was very abusive, verbally, physically, and emotionally abusive. And his name is Aaron Daniel Aller. He lives in Arlington, and I was getting my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I had stopped the Pima Medical Institute in Northgate veterinary assistance due to putting animals to sleep. That's something that I just couldn't bear, to watch or to do. So I decided to put that on hold, and I started working at in the hotel industry as a front desk. And so I was doing that, and I moved to Arlington with him when I met him. So it was a good relationship. I fell in love right away, and he did too. And unfortunately, he just forgot to tell me that he had a condition, which is a psychotic condition. And
He forgot to tell you he was
he
psychotic.
forgot. Exactly. So
That's an important piece of information.
I didn't find out through him. I just so happened that I opened his wallet, and it was on his driver license. So that was like later, like in the middle of the relationship. And
But you didn't see any
signs?
episodes or signs?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the abuse and stuff.
But you didn't know why? What was
Yeah, I
happening?
didn't know. I mean, I thought for a second, not for a second, I thought for a moment that, when that was happening, because he would flip all of a sudden, that it was due to his bullying, in school. I mean, he got bullied in school.
Okay.
But he was also the one standing up for bullies,
Both.
Yes, and also opiates, and he got himself into opiates. He had surgeries on his legs, and then they gave him, muscle relaxers and stuff like that.
And
So he got addicted.
Yeah.
He got addicted, and that was that. And so I thought that something, in between. That was the reason why he will just flip out of nowhere. But he was a good. I'm sorry, he was a good man. I mean, in the beginning, he just he introduced me to his parents, stepdad and his mother, and he was just sweet. He enjoys repairing vehicles, and he makes profit like that. He will buy them and then fix them up and then sell them, and I thought that was good. And then he's got two children, Mason and Regan. They're teenagers now, and they were very sweet to me too. And I didn't see anything wrong with the family, except for just a few secrets, that I can feel. But so he decided to just kick me out in that month of me living in the house with his mom and his stepdad and him. He decided to just let me go. He didn't want the relationship anymore.
And you guys were engaged?
Mm-hmm, already. Yes, and then and I just felt so hurt. I'm like, what's going on? Like, he just out of nowhere, right? And then he changed his mind, and then he said sorry. He apologized, and he apologized, and I'm like, okay, I'm the type of person that if you do something wrong like that to me, I want to give the benefit of the doubt to that person, that person's not going to do it again. Okay. But I also want to dig deep. It's like, oh, probably having a bad day. Maybe there's something else that he's not telling me, and something.
Yeah, give another chance.
Exactly, giving them another chance. But that started happening over and over again. He will leave me at the parking rides.
So it's like the roller coaster.
Yes, trying to get rid of me somehow, and then that was really hurtful. And so then me going to jail, he going to jail, for fighting. And then so the judge decided to put a no contact order on me, and then he will go to court and drop it, just remove that. And then it was at a point, at some point we were both having no contactores on each other. So every time we argue and the cops were called, the police just had it. They're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do with you too? You know, and you're just clutching now." And and then one of the cops, I remember him telling, "Why don't you move somewhere else? Why don't you two move somewhere else?" Like I took offense to that.
Like out of Arlington? Just
Arlington,
both
like
of
they
you?
had it with us.
Oh, gosh.
It was a constant battle, and then but he was very abusive. He started uh, doing a lot more than just kick me out of the house or tell me, you know, he didn't want to do a relationship or just argue, and then I will have to leave the house and then just go somewhere and sleep in the vehicle. But then it was him like throwing urine at me on my face. It started like that, and then just leaving me behind. And there's a place in Granite Falls called Billy Wamish Village. His mother has a little plot there, like little, and we will go out there and camp for the weekend, or and just stay there. And then I will have to go back to work, so come back to the city. But he will just leave me and take off, and not say anything. So it's just crazy. And he started acting up very differently, and he will not talk to me at all. He will just be on his own. He likes fishing, but he likes fishing at night. And so he would just go and fish, and I felt like I was just being like pushed out, like I don't want to be with you. Or he will fall asleep in his vehicle, and I'll be inside, and stuff like that. And then he'll be sweet, and he love me. He will show me affection, and the love he had for me, and buy me flowers, bouquet of flowers, or
Sounds so confusing.
exactly,
Very
and
confusing.
buy me, clothes, buy me shoes, perfumes, and he will have me nothing but looking like, oh, this is my woman, and
And
yeah, take care of me, yeah. He bought me two cars, a Jeep and then an Explorer, and, and he treated me well. But then he started like getting those things back, like, yeah. And it was just so confusing and so odd. Then my friend Daniel Spurgeon, which is my ex also, but my only friend that I was able to go and then stay the night at his place, I had no other choice. He would tell me, why don't you just leave him? I mean, he's very abusive and he's not gonna change. And and he's like, well, I love him, there goes say, but I love him, and then he loves me too. And then so he will come and then talk to me and ask me to go back, different scenarios throughout the relationship. And but then he robbed he will come back from the house and then be angry about something, and then he will. One time he grabbed something and put it on a napkin and rubbed it on my forehead, and he told me that it was dog poop. Just you see what I'm saying? It's like so weird, right? And I'm like, I can't believe you just did that. And then it started getting even more weird and sad, because I remember we were in the parking lot, and then he was just angry. He didn't want to talk to me, and I just didn't know what to do, because I was just there, just sitting there, and I'm like, what is going on? What am I gonna do with this? This is sad. I'm gonna end up on the streets not having that vehicle, because I had a car accident. I mean, an accident with the Explorer. So after that, there was no more car for me, and I ended up like, I remember driving in. I was going downhill and bam, just went and slammed on a tree. And so thank God, that I'm alive still. And so we were in the parking lot, and it was a business that had gone out of business. And then all of a sudden he just drove the vehicle, very angry, and grabbed me by my neck, and somehow opened the door and then just drove across the street by my neck, grabbing by my neck, not saying anything, but just I hate you and bitch and something else, like can't remember. But I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like it's just crazy. And then he He would just tell me to get out of the car and he just leave me there, not talk to me. And yeah, that happened. Is he never actually talked to me, and you gotta understand that it was 5 years of a relationship, and so a lot of that happened.
Yeah.
And then because I loved him and I knew that there was something else that was forcing him, to leave me, because he will always come back.
Yeah.
To me, and
They call that a toxic relationship.
yeah, no, that is a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
But a relationship is of two,
Yeah.
It's not a community project. So when you have family involved in your relationship and then having an opinion about certain things, and you not being, included into those conversations, and it's like bullying to me. So I could totally see that there was something else or someone else making him do all these things, I mean, he does drugs, yeah, but he doesn't get too drugged up to do something like that.
Yeah. So eventually you got out of that relationship?
But yeah, I mean, he ended up leaving me at Langus Park
Wow.
in
He just
Marysville.
left you?
Yeah, he left me there after 2 days, being together 2 days. He left me there. He just got angry and said, "Get out of the car," and left me there. I mean, he beat me with a closed fit, and left me with 2 black eyes and a broken nose.
Oh.
And no purse, no cell phone, no money. All my belongings were in his vehicle, and he just took off. And it was cold, so I had to walk all the way to the bus stop in Marysville, and yeah, that was tough.
I'm so sorry.
After that,
That's the last time you saw him?
That's the last time I saw him. Yeah, almost 2 years ago, and it has not been pretty, because him and his family and his friends have been harassing me since then, and throw things at me, call me chucha, which is dog, call me $2 whore, and crackhead, and things like that, and have me, like, they throw things at me that it will make me look dirty and stuff, and they have drones that helicopter me every day 24/7, and then they will call me with their big trucks and just call me names, or trying to scare me, intimidate it.
And where were you staying when this was happening?
So I was living Marysville, and then Everett. I was staying in Everett, and then from Everett I moved to Linwood and so on. So
They're harassing you?
harassing me, yeah, the whole time, and it's still till this day. And the police will not do anything, because they do have connections, all of them, with police, and they will brag them with things. That's the only thing that I can think of, and only that, but controlling controlling the homeless people, too, and then into not helping me, and then for example, right here in Ballard, I was in a tent over there, and a guy decided to pepper spray me. I don't know where, for no reason. And then I had to, like, with my eyes shut, closed, I had to, like, run all the way to where I knew there was a camera, because I couldn't even see. So he didn't even say. He's like, just get out of the tent. And then how I know it was part of him, and his ex-wife, and then the whole rest of friends and women that he had been having sex with, and that apparently cheated on me, throughout the relationship. It's because, well, he's the only one, and there is no doubt about it. I mean, I don't have enemies, only him. And things that started happening since I started the relationship with them, and then so that happened, and then I came back, right, to grab my things out of the tent, because everything was just mellow then. The guy was over there, and all of a sudden I see him with a piece of wood and a baseball bat, a metal baseball bat. And so I'm, like, just doing things, trying to fold my clothes, and then he came at me from the back and started beating me with a baseball bat.
Who did this to you?
It's just a random guy that was staying here.
You know what he looks like?
And well, he's just Caucasian and tall, but I don't see him here.
Have
I
you seen him since then?
No, I have not. And so that was not too long ago, but so once again, I'm running for my life, and I'm like, what is going on, you know? And then I see him, or somebody, yeah, I see him. They was just around here, around this area after that happened, and I was just hiding places because I just didn't want to leave. I needed my things out of the tent, and so I wasn't just gonna leave like that. And so I saw him, and I'm like, well, of course it's him, you know, and the reason why he's doing that, I have no idea. But the fact is that he is meddling into my life, and then he hasn't stopped since then. And the reason why I didn't know, but I just gonna keep getting information. You gotta understand there's only me and a ton of them, and so bullying me. And they did that in Seattle, and on December, not last year, but the previous year, they did it so it curling me around and just chasing me like all day, okay? And this is in the middle of the night, and I had to just keep walking, not eating, not drinking anything. And then they will just like pull over and open the vehicle, the car, and just to give me, you know, like the hint or scare me that they're gonna catch me and just like shove me into the vehicle.
Try to get you.
Exactly. So I just kept walking, and I feel safe in Seattle mostly because there are cameras everywhere. If you notice in Snohomish County, there's rarely any cameras, and that's why I moved from Linwood to Seattle downtown. That's what I've been saying. But
well, how long have you been in a tent?
I have not been in a tent at all. I've been sleeping on a sidewalk, or under a tree, or in Seattle downtown, for example, by where the gum wall is. So there's like spaces there, or whatever I can, you know, the benches. Yeah. But because I don't feel safe going into a shelter, mostly because I know that how things are going and have been, they will go in there and they just grab me and then take me away, because the thing was for them, the redhead skins, the redhead skins from Arlington, that's what they call themselves. That is part of him, I guess. I didn't know. And now I'm gonna get in trouble because I've said that, but they're the ones, they call themselves like that. They started doing that in Arlington when I was in Arlington, and it was like my last days in the RV that was parked right there. It was his RV, and he finally kicked me out. He said, "Well, Ericka, I guess you don't have a home now." Looking up in the sky, and then he kicked me out, and those were the people. I remember this social worker was helping me, and her and I were in the vehicle, and there were vehicles just following us everywhere. And she's the one that told me that name. That's what the name was of those people following us, and she was there to protect me and all that stuff. After that, I told him that, you know, that I feel secure with him because he hasn't blown up yet, and that I decided to stay with him. Well, I didn't know he was gonna kick me out, so he kicked me out.
Of the RV. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so now you're on the street.
And now I'm in the streets.
And that's why I asked if you stayed over here, and you said sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
So you're just kind of moving, kind of fleeing, trying to escape this domestic violence.
Yeah, you know, it's tough when my mom, the last time I saw him, my mom told me, she warned me, she said, "Don't go." And I'm like, "Mom, you know, he really loves me and I love him too," and you know, that thing. And I didn't listen, and that's what happened. He picked me up and left me in the Alangus. And he, you know, I tried to forget the whole domestic violence relationship that had happened, and the fact that he wasted 5 years of my life, going on to 7 now, because he's still harassing me. And the fact that he can now control this, it just angers me, because they're still torturing me.
Yeah.
You know, like all of this is them. With their drums, somehow they send this, I don't know, they throw these things. There's a game called Eliminada or something like that, I guess. There's a game. And then all of this is because he wants me he or they or him or all of them wanted me to be on the sidewalk, dirty, and turning into prostitution and so on, and with no money, dead at some point, later on. Well, it hasn't happened that way. And it so happened that I love God and I have Jesus Christ in my heart, and God has helped me so much. I have not had money, you know, from the benefits, from the state since this happened. Mostly because my immigration status is on hold due to, well, the passport, my work permit, my two birth certificates, and Social Security was lost a long time ago. And so I know for a fact that somebody's been using my benefits, and I receive a hospital bill. It's somewhere over there, and I can remember by Renton, and I never been to the hospital before. Also, when one time that I went to what is it called, where you get your food stamps. I can hear people calling my name, and there'll be like other people going, like answering, and the food stamps have been collected, and they weren't giving me food stamps at all for a while. All of a sudden I have over $1,000 in food stamps, and one time when I was in the vehicle, he was upset, and all of a sudden he said, and I saw him on his phone. He placed my work permit and Social Security and on Facebook, and he said that he was going to put it for sale. Who wants this and that? So identity theft has been,
right.
The problem too, and I haven't had benefits at all.
Well, Ericka, I cannot help but notice how well dressed you are.
Thank you.
And how are you surviving out here?
That's the other thing that they do. Either send people to rob me from my things. I usually have a luggage, a suitcase with clothes, and then my purse, and that's it. They have robbed me from my things so many times. Not only when I'm sleeping, but when I'm like just not paying attention, and they will be gone. So many times that I have to go in and look for clothes.
Yeah.
But then I have gone to the thrift stores and
Yeah.
gather some. I call it gathering because God helps. And then for food, well, it's food banks, but they're closed now, and that doesn't happen. But they're closed now because I was coming.
Well, for example, where are you going to sleep tonight?
At the same spot that I slept, yesterday. It could be like at the Pioneer Square Park. That's what I say sometimes. So by that place, and they or at the park by Carter's. There's a restaurant.
But it's also very cold.
I know, but I've been surviving, and like I said, God is protecting me and helping me through all of this, because I find blankets, sometimes clean, and there's always something, and if I need something, God is gonna, give it to me, and that's why I've been surviving. But I also been having very difficult times with going to places like Goodwill, to gather clothes. They're supposed to give you an outfit if you're homeless and you don't have any money. Well, they don't to me. So they call these places and let them know that I'm there, and just kick me out for no reason. And Goodwill in Seattle, by Chinatown, they thought that I had still stolen these things. I had just purchased a luggage, a suitcase, and clothes and everything. And I had just ripped the receipt, and I put it in the trash. So anyways, I forgot my gloves, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be cold today. So I go back in there, and the manager just grabbed me and just throw me outside. And I went like this, and because he accused me of stealing the luggage and everything that was in there, and they just wanted to take that away from me. And I said, I was just here, check the cameras. And he did, and he's like, I hate people like you. And and of course he was drinking. I can smell the alcohol. And I'm like, I just bought this, and I couldn't find the receipt. Why? Because they had just taken the garbage out. How how odd, right? And so I couldn't do anything. Why? Because there is a woman that is called Corina Guerrero. Is a sheriff at the Snohomish County Jail, and I have found out that she has warrants for my arrest for no reason, warrants and court days also. There's another woman called Tamara Avalos that came into the picture also. She is the assistant of Ashley Roth, the public defender for Snohomish, an attorney. And then, so they've been giving me such a hard time. Like right now, I'm in excruciating pain because, so they tighten my feet.
What do you,
And I can show you my feet, my toes right now. It's so embarrassing. But look at that. And see the faces.
so tell me about who's doing that?
So it's a group of women and men, all of them. So they use witchcraft, and they use witchcraft, and you can see the faces, and all of the stuff in my stomach. Images, right, from drums that they throw. They throw things, and so all of those in the bottom of my foot, and they tighten up. So what they do is they do burials. They sacrifice an animal. They tighten up like a voodoo doll, and they practice voodoo. And they do.
And you think they're doing that on you, or it's affecting you?
I've seen the women. A woman called Jennifer. Oh, now she goes by Jessica or whatever, and she's half Native American and half Caucasian. And I saw her making the voodoo dolls in the bathroom. She cut half of her hair. She would shave it, and then the rest she started doing the voodoo dolls, wrap it around, and on my name. And I have seen my ex-fiance like tangling my underwear on car parts and things like that. Also, another one, Claudia Hernandez, from Marysville and Efrain, it's a couple. They do all this witchcraft too. They kill animal sacrifications and they bury it and do all this. I don't know how they do it, right? Because I don't do any witchcraft or any all the stuff, but they do it on my name too. I've seen other friends, Cynthia Johnson and Darren. They have cribs with me and supposedly, and so I had cirrhosis of the liver, cirrhosis of the liver. One point I was diagnosed, and the doctor gave me 3 months left to live. It was really bad. I almost died. Well, thanks to the Dr. Palapu from Utah Medicine in Norgate, he brought me back to life. But I see that and their houses, and it's kind of like a crib, and then you see a bottle of alcohol, Smirnoff, and then you see like little things that say, this is for Ericka. And so I don't think that they thought that I was gonna put 2 and 2, and other people too have done that. And so they do the Liminara because of the black and white magic, and then voodoo, and like Ouija board, and Wicca, and then Scientologists, and other things they do.
Wow.
And so that's what they do. And then he's got people following me around with an app called 360 Life, something like that, where you add people to your group, and then you help them with gas. Like it started that way. Now I don't know, because it's been a while since I had a phone that had those apps, and so it's just so hard for me to explain to you right now. But if you have like the police department has that technology that you can see so there's streaks of energy, like the electricity, coming through, and how the buses go, and then you have the wires. But all of this is excruciating, that it starts like moving my veins, and so they make points where it looks like a bug has bitten or bite me, and so it's like this, and those right there. So all of that is the creation of witchcraft. And Santeria is one they play too, and and they make me get dehydrated. They drain me. They made me urinate myself from all the pain, and so
Wow, that's
it's
a
pretty
lot.
bad.
That is a
That is a
lot.
lot. And
That's
how
a
can
lot.
you tell this to people? I don't. I just battle things up, and I just handle however I can. But
Yeah.
it's really bad, and they do that to my family too. They got to that far. They have contacted the MS-13 down there, and they have gang members coming to the house and
In El Salvador.
terrorize.
In El Salvador?
In El Salvador, and terrorize my mom, by hanging a basket of flowers in front of her window. It's to say it's either your head or Ericka's head if you don't pay the quota. They call it the quota or something like that. And so terrorize my mom by showing her, I don't know why. My mom started telling me that was happening, right? She would be crying in front. She would be crying in front of the camera because I used to talk to her every day, daily. I have to talk to my mom, and then she started crying, and you can see the horror, on, in her face. Till now, she doesn't even tell me anything. Like, I keep asking questions, and
She's scared to tell you.
yeah, I keep asking questions, and then she would just get upset, and I can see there's someone in front of her that is telling her what to say or not to say. I mean, I've seen her at the market, and there'll be a guy with members following her, and then the same guy, or probably the same, dressed the same, at church, and her face black.
Ericka, do you, this is a kind of let me know if you want to answer this or not, but do you feel paranoid?
Paranoid, no, but I always have to be on the look. Yes, because they just like the man attack me from the back.
And what do you feel the difference is between that and paranoia?
The paranoia is something that is mentally, it's in your head. That, oh my God, someone's gonna get you, or someone's gonna get me, or someone is doing something. That is paranoia. Paranoia is just peeking through the blinds, in your home, and then, thinking that people are just following you. Well, this is not the case. If you were to go to Seattle downtown and go, because they have to have a recording of the streets, right? The cameras in Seattle downtown, especially Pioneer, where Chinatown meets in Seattle. And so that's exactly the area where I was, and you can see me going from one point to another. You can see the cars, the vehicles, and nothing else. Me panicking, and other places too, where you can see that I'm being harassed, and I'm being, chased by these people, and that's the proof that I have. Not only that, videos I have taken, photos I have taken. The only problem is that since they've been stealing all my stuff, and they know what kind of stuff I have in those footages, they take my cell phone all the time.
Yeah, gone.
So they have hacked my Gmail accounts and my Facebook accounts. I cannot have a Gmail account if my phone's stolen. I mean, that Gmail account is gone. Now I have to reopen another one. And the problem with that is that now I have to reopen another one. That means another Facebook, and that's the only way that I can communicate with my mommy and know that she is okay. Because they're liars, and what they tell me is like, oh, you don't have to worry about your mom. She's gonna be okay. Blah blah blah. And sometimes they just play games daily with me that my mom is not okay. They're doing something to my mom, and I hear my mother's voice, or my niece, or my sisters, and so I'm panicking throughout the day. And I mean, at the same time, I try to go have something to eat, get something to eat, and not get distracted. And so I'm crying and I'm panicking, and then I talk to her, and she's doing okay, but she's not saying much. I will just probably say 2 or 3 words, and that's it. I have to let her go, because she gets upset, and it's either me calling her and find out that she's okay or not. You know, call her, or don't call her, or don't say anything. No matter what I do, they will do whatever they want.
Yeah, that sounds, again,
And
like a lot. Ericka, one last question before we finish. Is there anything that you would want the people of Seattle to know?
about the living of, well, this is Seattle, all right, downtown Seattle. I love downtown Seattle. I used to love Ballard because the people, you know, and they were close. Everybody helped, but now it has changed completely, and I see why. And the Seattle downtown, you can hear me, you can see me, you could follow me if you want, and I will go through something, and they will know what it is exactly because they know, but they cannot tell, you know, the police or help me in some sort of ways, and but they will know, and so they feel sad because they can. They're also scared for their own, you know, family. I think, and because they're harassing others now, and doing really bad things like taking away their businesses and then harassing them with a lot of different things. And first I thought these people are doing it just to me only, my family. Why? And they did, and then they started kind of like covering, you know, their acts and adding more people, doing other things to other people, and other people is to like, oh, Ericka wasn't the only one, but I was. And so now they're doing it to other people, and manipulating and sabotaging, you know, my life still, because they do not want me to get a job, they do not want me to eat, they do not want me to, you know, just continue with my life, like.
And what do you want?
And the other, yes, and the other thing is that when I went to do my taxes, I have not filed my taxes for 3 years. I only had $2.28 left, and I had stimulus checks, so I knew for a fact that I had at least over, you know, I don't know how, $20,000. I don't know how much the stimulus checks were when, you know, COVID happened and all this stuff, and so it was a lot of money that I was depending on. And so when I went to find that out, I was in shock because where has money gone? So I have called the IRS, unemployment, Washington unemployment, let them know, and so I have to. They see some activities that have been going on my account that are a little questionable, and so they have asked me to give 2 pieces of, you know, ID information and that proof that I am who I am. But they have stolen all my stuff, my ID and everything else. And so, like I said, they sabotage everything. And when they call the police because they have robbed me, also they make phone calls, and they make sure that the police is busy doing something else, so they don't come to me, or you know, they come to me very late. Everything is gone and so on. So when I have an emergency and I have to call the police, they sabotage that, and a lot of other things. But the people in Seattle downtown, they have been paying attention, and even though they're not saying anything, they're saying a lot. You can hear, like, they help me too, you know, by saying this and that and what I need, and they know what I'm trying to do that day, and then they will help me by saying something else. Oh, well, you go here and this and that. So.
Thank you for your time. It's good to hear your voice. I appreciate your time.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
everything.
Yeah, you're welcome. You have a hug. Hang in there.
Thank you.
I gotta take that little microphone.
Yes.
And we'll take some pictures.
Okay.